You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
Cyber threats are evolving every second, and staying ahead is more than just a challenge, it's a necessity. That's why we're thrilled to partner with ThreatLocker, the cybersecurity solution trusted by businesses worldwide. ThreatLocker is a full suite of solutions designed to give you total control, stopping unauthorized applications, securing sensitive data, and ensuring your organization runs smoothly and securely. Visit threatlocker.com today to see how a default deny approach can keep your company safe and compliant. A critical vulnerability in Erlang OTP SSH allows unauthenticated remote code execution. There's a bipartisan effort to renew a key cybersecurity info-sharing law. A newly discovered Linux kernel vulnerability allows local attackers to escalate privileges. A researcher uncovers 57 risky Chrome extensions with a combined 6 million users. AttackIQ shares StrelaStealer simulations. A major live event service provider notifies employees and customers of a data breach. CISA warns of an actively exploited SonicWall vulnerability. An airport retailer agrees to a multi-million-dollar settlement stemming from a ransomware attack. A preview of RSAC 2025 with Linda Gray Martin and Britta Glade. And zoom, it's always DNS. It's Friday, April 19th, 2025. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Happy Friday, and thanks for joining us here today. Great to have you with us. Erlang OTP SSH is widely used in systems that demand high availability and concurrency, particularly in telecommunications, IoT, and embedded devices. Its integration into Erlang's ecosystem makes it a preferred choice for developers building distributed systems requiring secure remote access. A critical vulnerability in Erlang OTP SSH allows unauthenticated remote code execution on affected devices. Discovered by researchers at Ruhr University Bochum, it carries a maximum CVSS score of 10. The flaw stems from improper handling of pre-authentication SSH messages, enabling attackers to run commands, often as root, via the SSH daemon. Horizon 3's security team confirmed the exploit is easy to reproduce and could soon see public proof of concepts. All systems using Erlang OTP's SSH are impacted. Erlang relies on the OTP stack for components like SSH. Users are urged to upgrade immediately. For systems that can't be patched, access should be limited to trusted IPs or SSH disabled altogether. Senators Gary Peters, a Democrat from Michigan, and Mike Rounds, a Republican from South Dakota, have introduced the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Extension Act to renew a key 2015 law encouraging businesses to share cyber threat data with the government. Set to expire in September, the original Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act helped companies report threats like malware and vulnerabilities to DHS while receiving legal protections. The law supports real-time collaboration between private firms and agencies like CISA through efforts like the Joint Cyber Defense Collaborative. It's credited with aiding responses to major incidents like SolarWinds and Volt Typhoon. Senator Rounds warned that letting it lapse would harm national cyber defenses. Experts agree the law has boosted operational partnerships, but say the renewal is a chance to update it for modern privacy, supply chain, and threat realities. A newly discovered Linux kernel vulnerability poses a serious risk by allowing local attackers to escalate privileges and potentially gain root access. With a CVSS score of 7.8, The flaw affects the bitmap IP set type in the netfilter subsystem due to improper handling of IP range parameters. The exploit code enables attackers to perform out-of-bounds writes, bypass Castler, and execute kernel-level code. Patches are available, and system administrators are urged to update immediately. Security researcher John Tuckner has uncovered 57 risky Chrome extensions with a combined 6 million users, many of which have excessive permissions and could be used for surveillance or malicious activity. These extensions, often unlisted from the Chrome Web Store and only installable via direct link, claim to offer privacy or ad blocking services, but can monitor browsing behavior, access cookies, modify search results, and execute remote scripts. The most notable, Fire Shield Extension Protection, is heavily obfuscated and communicates with a suspicious domain. Tuckner found multiple extensions linked to the same domain, raising concerns about their potential use as spyware. Google is currently investigating the report, and users are advised to remove any of the flagged extensions and reset their passwords as a precaution. Some extensions have been taken down, but others remain active. StrelaStealer is a credential-stealing malware targeting email clients like Microsoft Outlook and Mozilla Thunderbird, active since 2022 and attributed to the threat actor Hive 0145. It spreads via phishing emails containing zip files with malicious JavaScript that downloads a DLL payload. Recent campaigns have hit over 100 organizations across Europe and the US, with enhanced obfuscation and new delivery methods involving PowerShell and WebDAV. AttackIQ has released attack graphs that simulate StrelaStealer's behavior, covering its initial infection, system discovery, and data exfiltration to help organizations test and improve their defenses. These scenarios highlight the importance of monitoring native Windows utilities like RunDLL32 and RegServer32, which are used to launch the malware. Security teams are urged to use these tools to validate detection and mitigation strategies against this growing threat. Legends International, a major live events service provider, is notifying employees and customers of a data breach discovered on November 9th of last year. The company took systems offline and found that attackers exfiltrated files containing sensitive data, including social security numbers, driver's license details, payment card info, and medical records. Over 8,000 Texans were affected, though the full scope remains unknown. While there's no evidence of misuse, impacted individuals are being offered 2 years of free identity protection. No group has claimed responsibility. CISA has warned U.S. federal agencies to patch a high-severity remote code execution vulnerability affecting SonicWall SMA 100 series appliances. The flaw allows low-privileged remote attackers to execute arbitrary code via the SMA 100 management interface. Initially considered a denial-of-service issue, SonicWall recently upgraded its severity and confirmed it is being actively exploited. Agencies must patch by May 7th, and all organizations are urged to act swiftly to prevent potential breaches. Airport retailer Paradise Shops has agreed to a $6.9 million settlement to resolve a class-action lawsuit stemming from a 2020 ransomware attack that exposed personal data of 76,000 current and former employees. The breach, linked to the REvil ransomware group, compromised names and social security numbers after hackers accessed systems for 5 days. Plaintiffs accused the company of negligence and delayed notification. While denying wrongdoing, Paradise opted to settle to avoid prolonged litigation. The deal follows a growing trend of post-breach class actions. Coming up after the break, a preview of RSAC 2025 with Linda Gray Martin and Britta Glade. And zoom, it's always DNS. Stay with us. Bad actors don't break in, they log in. Attackers use stolen credentials in nearly 9 out of 10 data breaches, and once inside, they're after one thing: your data. Varonis's AI-powered data security platform secures your data at scale. Across LaaS, SaaS, and hybrid cloud environments, join thousands of organizations who trust Varonis to keep their data safe. Get a free data risk assessment at varonis.com. What's the common denominator in security incidents? Escalations and lateral movement. When a privileged account is compromised, attackers can seize control of critical assets. With bad directory hygiene and years of technical debt, identity attack paths are easy targets for threat actors to exploit, but hard for defenders to detect. This poses risk in Active Directory, Entra ID, and hybrid configurations. Identity leaders are reducing such risks with attack path management. You can learn how attack path management is connecting identity and security teams while reducing risk with Bloodhound Enterprise, powered by SpecterOps. Head to specterops.io today to learn more. SpecterOps, see your attack paths the way adversaries do. The RSAC 2025 conference in San Francisco is right around the corner. And today I speak with Linda Gray Martin and Britta Glade from RSAC conference with a preview of this year's activities. Well, Linda and Britta, welcome back. It is always a highlight when we get to get together year after year to preview the upcoming RSAC conference, and this year is no exception. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you for having us. Nice to speak to you again.
So let's start off with some of the things that are new for this year at RSAC 2025. Real quick, we've got some new branding for RSAC this year. Do we want to touch on some of the differences there that folks might notice as they're wandering around?
Yes, well, I think the first one actually, people probably heard when you did our introduction, and that is that RSA conference is now known as RSAC conference. So you will see that branding change everywhere throughout the campus when you're at the conference.
And what are some of the other things that we can expect from this year's conference in terms of what's new or what you want to bring to people's attention?
Yeah, well, maybe I can jump in here and start, and then Britta can talk about some of the content stuff that we're doing this year, always new and exciting. So we do have a lot of new and big going on this year. So apart from having refreshed sessions and tracks and content, which I mentioned Britta will dig into, there's a couple of other things I'd like to highlight. So number one is that we're expanding our campus. And for the very first time, we are using the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts, which is directly adjacent to Moscone North. If you're looking at it head on, it's to the right, and you see that the big Blue Shield theater there. So, one of the things driving that, and I'll come back to telling you about what is in YBCA in a minute, but it is the 20th anniversary of our Innovation Sandbox contest this year. And I know you're speaking with Cecilia next week, so I won't steal her thunder. But we do have a larger footprint for that event to celebrate the 20th anniversary, amongst other things, which she will go into. And so that has caused us to make some shifts to our space. So over in YBCA, we have the newly named YBCA Keynote Program, formerly South Stage Keynote. So that will be in the really beautiful theatre there. It holds just under 800 people. And it's what I call a performance theatre. So it has a beautiful stage, lovely auditorium seating. It's going to be a real highlight, and I think it's going to really provide a lovely experience for both the speaker and the attendees. Our Sandbox program is also going to be over on YBCA, which hopefully you're familiar with. That offers our attendees hands-on experiences that range from things like Capture the Flags to an escape room this year. But very excitingly, we're also partnering with DARPA, and they are bringing their AI Cyber Challenge to RSAC conference this year. And just in a nutshell, what that is attendees can go on an immersive journey that transports them to a fictional city, which is called Northbridge. And it's designed to showcase the importance of AI-driven cybersecurity and protecting our critical infrastructure. And attendees will literally go on a little simulated train into this space. So it's a fantastic program, and we are so thrilled to have that come to RSAC this year. And then finally, Early Stage Expo, which is kind of always near the innovation sandbox space, that also has an expanded footprint. So we have nearly 70 startups participating in that space this year. So those are kind of some of the operational, logistical new things. Britta, do you want to talk about some of the new content stuff?
Absolutely. So we have well over 400 sessions that are spread. As Linda said, we have Moscone West, we have North, South, and then the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts. And these sessions are spread across all of those areas, across 29 different tracks. And Dave, what we try to do is we really look at, what content is carefully accessed in our library. We also do year-round programming. And then as we look at the call for speakers that come in and working with our program committee, that drives what kind of sessions are we going to have, how much are we going to have on certain topics, et cetera, et cetera. And during the course of that, we landed on a couple of interesting expansion areas for content. One is protecting home and family. This will be a mini track, if you will, that's running on Monday. You'll hear me say Monday several times because we are expanding a lot of the content on Monday. We have so many folks on our campus on that first day of programming. We wanted to make sure there were many, many options for those individuals. So protecting home and family will be exactly what it sounds like, right? You would think that we as cybersecurity professionals have everything under control under our own roof. And the reality is, nope, we could probably take some pointers on how to make sure we're very secure on our own home front. So we have 5 wonderful sessions that are part of that. We're also bringing back our security foundations track, which again, you might say, goodness, you have such experienced attendees at RSAC. Do you really need to cover foundations? And the answer is yes. This is heavily sought after information. It's nice to have a primer on topics like, generative AI, identity, application security. So again, 5 sessions on that are a great starter for the week, refresher to return to, great content there. And then lastly, also on Monday, we are partnering with Usenix. Several of their papers from their Security 24 Distinguished Papers honorees are presenting at RSAC as well. So that's a really nice academic researcher's view of very critical issues that will be presented to our audience. So those are some particularly new ones that will be part of our content programming this year.
Well, before I let you all go, let's talk about the conference for folks for whom this is their first time there. It can be a bit overwhelming. The scale of RSAC conference is huge. So when you walk into that show floor, when you look at the schedule and you try to figure out what you want to see and make it all happen, it's easy to feel a little overwhelmed. Do you ladies have any tips for the first timer or for maybe people who haven't been in a few years?
Yeah, we do. So I think you hit 2 really important things there, Dave, and it can be overwhelming. We understand that, and we try really hard to kind of make everything as accessible as we can. So a couple of tips that we have. First of all, before you head to San Francisco, come with a plan. And I think that makes it a little less overwhelming. So, you can go onto our website, you can filter on all the different kinds of session types that you want to go to. You can build out your schedule, you can reserve seats, you can see which vendors are in the expo hall, you can really plan your time. And I think that is really going to serve you well. and help you maximize your time. The other thing I wanted to just point out is that on the Sunday night, we do have a reception for first timers, so people who have never been before, along with our Loyalty Plus attendees, so people who have been multiple times. And it's a really great opportunity to make some connections that honestly, I think, people make connections and have them for life after they've been to RSA conference. Networking, talking to peers, understanding challenges that others are going through it's such an important point of the conference experience. So a little shout out for that reception on the Sunday night.
Definitely. And I love, Linda pointed out, reserve a seat. Any of the content sessions, you have the ability to reserve a seat, or if it's one of our larger areas, like our keynote area, you can add it to your favorites. So have a plan, have a backup plan, have a backup plan, which also serves you well, Dave, when you go back to all of this great content. No one is going to be in 400 plus sessions. You can't do that. But you've gone through, you've looked at everything. All of your favorites give you a map for things you want to return to, something you might want to share with a colleague, et cetera, et cetera. And then, as Linda mentioned, but I'll put a big exclamation point on it, honor that time to get to know other people as well. Someone you're standing in line next to, waiting to get into a session, someone that you're seated next to. The networking opportunity and the ability to impact this, your cohort for life, if you will, cannot be understated. The opportunity that RSAC presents to you to find like minds, to find people with different minds, different perspectives, different disciplines. All of those people are together in San Francisco during this week, and it is an excellent opportunity to immerse yourself with all of these great minds.
It's a great point, and I have some colleagues who are on the East Coast like I am, and they may be close by to where I work, but we joke about how the main place we get to see each other every year is at RSAC conference, because we're all going to be there, and it's just how it works.
Right, it is. And I think that's the exciting part about it, Dave. Honestly, I think, I was talking to somebody earlier. We just get so excited when we go, and that we have just such a vibrant community, and people just find joy in spending time with each other.
Yeah. Well, let me close it out just by suggesting to everybody, wear comfortable shoes. Right?
Indeed. And hydrate. Hydrate, yes.
Hydrate. Wear comfortable shoes. Yes, you will thank us. All right, ladies, thanks so much for taking the time. It's always fun to catch up. I appreciate it. And I will see you in San Francisco.
See you very soon. Take care. Thank you.
Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Like, right now. We know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to our GRC programs, we rely on point-in-time checks. But get this. More than 8,000 companies like Atlassian and Quora have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Here's the gist. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across 30 frameworks, like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and helps you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that's a new way to GRC. Get $1,000 off Vanta when you go to vanta.com/cyber. That's vanta.com/cyber for $1,000 off. And finally, our It's Always DNS desk reports that earlier this week, millions of people found themselves staring into the void of a broken Zoom link. The beloved video call platform went dark for nearly 2 hours, not because of hackers or server meltdowns, but due to a digital game of telephone gone wrong. The culprit? A miscommunication between Zoom's domain registrar, MarkMonitor, and GoDaddy Registry, keeper of the .us domain. In short, GoDaddy accidentally hit the off switch on zoom.us, making it disappear from the internet. While those already mid-meeting continued blissfully unaware, the rest of us were left refreshing error messages and briefly wondering if the apocalypse may have begun. DNS cache delays meant the fix took a while to ripple across the web, and Zoom had to walk users through techie tasks like flushing their DNS. Zoom has since slapped a registry lock on its domain. Better late than never. And that's the Cyberwire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. Be sure to check out this weekend's Research Saturday and my conversation with Nick Cern, security consultant from Bishop Fox. We're discussing Rust for malware development. That's Research Saturday. Check it out. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our Cyberwire producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Trey Hester with original music and sound design by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here next week. Looking for a career where innovation meets impact? Vanguard's technology team is shaping the future of financial services by solving complex challenges with cutting-edge solutions. Whether you're passionate about AI, cybersecurity, or cloud computing, Vanguard offers a dynamic and collaborative environment where your ideas drive change. With career growth opportunities and a focus on work-life balance, you'll have the flexibility to thrive both professionally and personally. Explore open cybersecurity and technology roles today at vanguardjobs.com.